Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pixie the Bug, or Danny, whichever you feel like calling me. It's been a few weeks since I was last able to make a video, so I thought that I would go ahead and make one. You can see my lovely desk. I show you every week, so why not? Sorry, it's messy. This is actually a sticker, if you're curious what it is. It's a ghost face sticker. Really excited to get this. So, anyway, today we are in Louisiana. We are going to be learning about the Rougarou, which is a legendary creature in French communities linked to traditional concepts of the werewolf. That's according to Wikipedia. Sorry about my voice. As usual, allergies have been terrible. This is what the Rougarou looks like. I'm sure you've all seen werewolves, but just because I like to show pictures of the cryptids, there they are. That's creepy. Why does it look like it has seaweed on its head? So, I usually like to show maps too. So, let's see. It just says that it prowls Louisiana swamps. So the Rougarou is a monster from Cajun folklore. I'm not going to look that up. I think Cajun? I'm going to. I lied. Just says Cajun legends. Cajun. Hold on, Dad, I'm busy. Sorry, every time. Waiting for its next victim. It's often described as having the body of a human and the head of a wolf. So, that's basically a werewolf. I'll have to look that up, because I'm curious where Cajun comes from. Is that like a place, or... So... This is from WGNO, which is New Orleans version of ABC. New Orleans. Yeah, Dad. Sorry, again. New Orleans does Halloween like no other. In fact, we do life like no other. In celebration of a month of frights, WGNO News has the story of one of Louisiana's most legendary inhabitants. This is just about a Halloween thing that they do. So if you're interested in that, it's on WGNO, and it's basically Louisiana by Christopher Leach, and it's called Mankind's Uncontrollable Nature, the Legend of the Rougarou. And for some reason, I thought it was supposed to talk about the legend. Oh. The Rougarou, or loup-garou, comes from the French word loup, which means wolf, and garou, which is an animal shapeshifter. Written accounts of the French werewolf in the New World, dating back to the 1700s, but there are older oral tradition stories of changelings in many Native American cultures, including the Humas of South Louisiana. Changelings are usually things that fairies take. Like, they take a human child and they put in... It's supposed to be a fairy, so I'm a little confused as to why it's calling it a changeling. But, okay. There are elders, especially in Terrebonne and La Fourche Parish, that believe in the werewolf and may caution children with it. I worked for years in rural southeast French Louisiana, and I really only encountered 3 people who knew the Rougarou from their own experience. One was an elder man that had made a little sculpture to show me who the Rougarou in the woods were. Apparently he made a wooden carving. It is a story that was once traditionally dangerous to speak about. Many believe that if you reveal the name of someone whom you suspected was a werewolf, you could become one. That's something that you could see in the movies because you're, like, talking about them, so they come get you, maybe? That's a little weird. Some people place objects on the doors of believed werewolves as a message to leave others alone. Sorry. However, there could be serious confrontations between accusers and the accused. Makes sense? So that's that. Nope, I do not want to subscribe. This is called The Pelican State of Mind. That looks like a swamp. Back in the 16th century, they'd regularly blame various crimes on loup-garous. Apparently that was a thing they did back then. So if something happened, like your child disappeared, or your house got ransacked in the night, they'd blame werewolves. Just, is that supposed to be a werewolf? Look at the hands and the feet. The court would ask the public if they believed the accused to be a loup-garou, and usually the public agreed, mainly for fear that they'd be outed as a witch or a werewolf themselves. I'm just going to call him a werewolf. I know that that's kind of rude not to call it loup-garou, maybe, but I don't mean it to be rude. It's just easier to say werewolf. Rougarou, just, my brain doesn't want to say it. Since the migration, when many of the French migrated to Canada and the southern United States, they took the legend of the loup-garou with them. That's since the migration, many of the legends began to change to match the times and the dialect. Since Cajun dialect is a mix of French and English and well known for changing words completely to roll off the tongue easier, like Rougarou kind of does, if you're probably used to saying it. These creatures are supposed to live within the greater New Orleans area, and the Acadiana is where this beast has come to live. He might even be neighbors with the Honey Island Swamp Monster, which is also known as Louisiana's Bigfoot of the Swamp. I don't have Honey Island Swamp Monster written down, but we can write it down. Honey Island Swamp Monster. I'll write it down. Honey Island. And hopefully by then this weird illness thing is gone. This is from a blog from the National Wildlife Federation. So I thought it was interesting that it says, save the swamp, which is something that a wildlife federation would do, but beware the rougarou. Basically, same thing. Nor is it clear if the rougarou only prowls during a full moon like a werewolf. So, this one can basically, they don't know if it transforms during the full moon or whenever it feels like it. Tragically, many of the swamps that helped shape Cajun culture and inspire stories of the rougarou have been cut off from the Mississippi River that once built and maintained them. So a lot of the places where they probably stayed in were destroyed. So if there was any semblance of a werewolf, it's probably not there anymore. I probably won't go into anything else further than that, only because I'm already at 9 minutes. Basically that's what it is. Here we go. Now we can find an appearance. Regarding its appearance, this is from the Monster Wiki, which we've used plenty of times. The rougarou looks like a being with the body of a man and the head of a wolf. They say that it roams the woods and fields looking for its prey in the dark of night, which is typical werewolf stuff. That its eyes are red and bloodshot, and that it can run on its feet, although it tends to prowl stalking on all fours. stopping and sniffing left and right in a predatory attitude, and above all, they say that he is thirsty for blood, which is a typical creepy guy. So, I'll do this real quick. It's 1:49. And this is from A&E. Ooh, sorry.
There are a lot of legends down here, down the bayou. But probably the one that we get the most calls of people saying that they've seen would be the Rougarou. I got something stirring up my chickens over there. It looks like something like a big dog. It may be a Rougarou, I don't know.
There's several stories that I heard about the Rougarou growing up. One was that it was a man that can turn into a wolf-like creature.
It's a swamp creature. It's a tall, hairy creature. Pretty much Bigfoot in the swamp.
Some people say it's like a werewolf or full of moss, almost like a swamp thing.
It's like a
full
swamp
of moss.
Something
That
that's
makes sense.
covered in grass and moss.
An Indian shapeshifter. That's about the best I understand of it now. I'm sure I'll keep learning as I go.
I'll tell you what my grandma told me. My grandma told me that it was a werewolf. And you know, if there's a Rougarou out there, I'm going to have to believe my grandma's right.
A couple weeks ago, somebody asked me, did I know what the Rougarou is? This is my first time ever hearing of the word. I don't even know.
That's where he came, right there.
This ain't making any sense, my man. Because the trail just ends.
Said, you know, you hear them old stories about the old Rougarou and all that. I don't know if that was it.
Look on that cop's face.
The story was developed as a childhood story to keep children inside the house.
I've never seen the Rougarou. We have Jacob, the closest thing we have.
I don't believe in the Rougarou. What's it supposed to be?
Kind of like a Bigfoot.
I don't believe in Bigfoot. That's what it is. That's what they're claiming it is.
Actually, I saw him right back behind his house. No, I'm just kidding.
So the cops are kind of laughing it off, but that was a neat perspective to see the police perspective on it. Now we have this one, which is from LSU. Not sure what it fully stands for, but I'll probably, well, why not?
The Rougarou is a very old idea or belief about people who can change shape. It's referring to a human that transforms into a creature, often a dog or a wolf, especially in Louisiana for some reason, and I think this is probably unique to Louisiana. Sometimes it's a white dog. Most of the time, it's not an identifiable animal. It's just something that looks scary. There were stories about the Rougarou as early as the early 1500s, so it's been around a long time.
That's the one that we were laughing at.
Louisiana has its roots in France and French Canada, so it probably came to Canada and then.
Hold on, we're getting interrupted. What?
I said lunch is probably done.
All right. Sorry. Again. Interruption day today, apparently.
Louisiana with the displaced people there. It's the kind of story that you probably tell in certain contexts, like sitting around on a dark night on the porch and you start telling these scary stories. The usual kind of story is somebody is going home late at night and they see this animal that comes up and tries to bite them, and they throw something at it and hit it in the hand or break the hand, and the next day they run into a neighbor whose hand is hurt in the same place where they threw something at the animal, so they realize that it was their neighbor.
So that's an interesting way to think about it too. You know, why wouldn't you think, oh, that must be the thing that I was fighting? Even though it was probably just an off-the-wall, weird thing that happened. So then usually I go to Facebook. I usually don't look, but like I don't scroll through beforehand, so I don't know what we're going to find. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but usually I try not to. There's a person here called the Louisiana Rougarou. But as you can see, all it is this picture. I was kind of hoping that it would be something a little bit cooler. But that all it is 1, 2 Rougarou. So there's like a book. Rougarou Stew. Curse of the Rougarou. That's a card game. That could be cool. That's $15 if anybody wants to play Arkham Horror LCG Curse of the Rougarou Scenario Pack. So that could be interesting to look into if you're into that kind of thing. It's $15. And you can buy it on Amazon. So that's nice. There's not really... Look at that thing. Oh no, we found the Rougarou. So there you go. That's some pictures of it. La Rougarou. Be a part of the Skin Changers Society. Each full moon feels stronger. A spirit that jumps from person to beast, beast to person. That's a community. Now gonna click on it. There's one called Arts and Entertainment, Rougarou Petals, Audubon Zoo? Investigation continues as we try to identify the strange tracks found this morning in Louisiana Swamp. Could the Rougarou have made the tracks? This was made April 1st. Could just be a silly joke, but there they are. They actually have a footprint of it. So, just something fun that I like to look into. You never know what you'll find. So, Misha Collins, if you guys haven't recognized him just by his face, he's from Supernatural. But I'm going to end this here, guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Sorry for all the interruptions. It's lunchtime. It's 12:20. So, have a great day, guys. Have a great week, and hopefully I'll see you next week to hang out in Louisiana again to, the Honey Island Swamp Monster. And I already forgot what it was, but I wrote it down because we had spotted it. So we're going back to Louisiana, hopefully next week, guys. Hopefully I'm feeling better. My allergies have been driving me crazy. That's my problem right at the moment. And hopefully next week we won't have 4 or 5 interruptions. I'm really sorry. Much love and see you next week. Bye!